opens the door, no man can shut it. And so wait on him. His promises are yes and amen. God is not man that he should lie. God is not like some politicians of Africa who promise bridges even where there are no rivers. When he promises, he fulfills. 2026 is coming. Uganda is going to turn into the land of promises. Now, the reason for choosing you is given. I chose you and appointed you so that you might bear fruit. And the fruit that will last. I'm not going to labor on this. The bishop has preached so well. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control. Now, are you bearing this? By the way, he did not say to bear fruit. He said to bear fruit in singular. If you want to understand what he meant, think of an orange. It's one fruit. But when you open it, it has several compartments. They're all in one. There are some people who God has called. There's no doubt about that. But they're not bearing fruit. It's one thing to be called, and it is another to bear fruit. You have a reputation of being alive, yet you are dead. Morocole is written here. Church warden, Mubulizi, canon, reverend, whatever. The name is there. But do you have any fruit now to give? Uganda is not to be a Christian country. 85% Christian. And yet is ranked among the most corrupt countries in the world. We are not discipled. Corruption in Uganda is at its peak. To the extent that comedians have now come up with what they call a nomenclature, some kind of about the three arms of government. You know, the first one is the executive. They have called it the executives. And the second one is what? Legislature. So the legislators have now been called the legislators. Except a few. I'm glad I haven't heard your name. And then the third arm is the judiciary. They now call it judiciary. They now call it judiciary. Judiciary. Corruption is everywhere.
Obuli bw'enguzi buli buli wamu.
It is even in the church, sadly.
Ne mu kanisa kirabika.
In hospitals.
Bw'ogenda mu malwaliro.
Schools.
Mu masomero okiraba.
Money meant for social services.
Ensimbi ezirina okukozesebwa mu bantu.
Ends up in individual pockets.
Zikomekerera nga ziri mu nsawo z'abantu.
I listened to Honorable Betty Nambozi.
Nawulirizaako Honorable Betty Nambozi.
Something was flying around on social media.
Waliwo akaali kayitingana ku mitimba.
I may not say it exactly the way she did. She was giving an example of corruption.
Yali awa ekyokulabirako eky'obunyago.
About a head teacher
ng'ayogera ku mukulembeze w'essomero.
Who will ask his teachers
agenda okusaba abasomesa be
to ask their pupils to bring 2,000 shillings, for example, for a book.
Head teacher agamba abasomesa bagamba abaana baleete 2,000 ez'ekitabo.
So the teacher will now go
kati omusomesa ono agenda
to the classroom and say,
mu kibiina n'agamba,
tomorrow
enkya
each one of you will bring 5,000 shillings
buli omu ku mmwe alina okuleeta 5,000
for a textbook.
ez'ekitabo.
The head teacher said 2,000.
Head teacher yagambye 2,000.
Now the teacher tells the pupils 5,000.
Teacher ye n'agamba 5,000.
The pupil will go home.
Omusomi agenda eka.
And tell the mother,
n'alyoka agamba mama,
the teacher has said
omusomesa afa agambye
that tomorrow
enkya
we take 7,000 shillings
kasanvu ku ssomero
for a textbook.
za kitabo.
The mother will go to the husband.
Mama agenda ew'omwami
and say, our son says
n'amugamba ati mutabani waffe
that tomorrow
enkya
they must take 10,000 shillings for a textbook.
gwa kitabo.
The father will then call maybe his boss, like a farm, maybe he's a farm manager. So he now calls his boss and said, boss, there's an emergency here. Please help me with 15,000 shillings because it is needed tomorrow at school. Corruption is everywhere.